Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel, Pages and Stitches. That's spelled pages, the number 3 stitches, both here and on Instagram. My name is Kelly and I am finally back with an update. So sorry about that. There's been a bit of a delay for, life reasons. So I'm finally back on Flosstube, giving you my update for both March and April 2024. Today is Sunday, May 5th. So yeah, I'm finally here. I know I owe you guys a little bit of an explanation, so let's get into that real quick. So shortly after I posted my February update, I got a back injury. I threw my back out, and so that kind of put a wrench in all my plans because I was in a lot of pain for a while, and then also I had to go to a lot of doctor's appointments, get some imaging done. Now I'm also doing physical therapy, so a lot of my free time was kind of disrupted because I had to do, some other things just for my back and for my health. And then on top of that, the work that I do has been exceptionally busy recently because the people in my department are apparently super duper fertile because we have 4 women who are currently out on maternity leave, and unfortunately not enough staff as backup to cover their absence. So what that means is we've all had to make some sacrifices, which typically looks like coming in early and leaving late to make sure there's enough coverage. So all that to say, I've had a serious chunk of my free time disrupted, and I needed to prioritize all of that over cross-stitching, over quilting, over YouTube. So thank you to everybody who has reached out with lots of well wishes. I truly appreciate that. I'm fine. I just needed to take some time for myself, and so Flosstube couldn't be a priority for that period. But going through all of this has kind of been a little bit enlightening for me, and by that I mean I've kind of come to the realization that the strict sort of schedule that I was sticking to previously was ultimately just an added stress in my life. And so don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving Flosstube or anything. But I think the changes going forward on the channel are going to look like a different film schedule. And by that I mean, instead of having a video out for Flosstube and for Quilter's Corner once a month like I have been doing at the beginning of the month, I think I'm just gonna kind of throw my schedule out the window and film when I want to film. And for various reasons. I think having like that deadline kind of looming over my head was just, it was making things feel like work. And it's a hobby and it's fun and we enjoy it and we bond over it, and I don't want it to feel like work because then I won't want to do it anymore. Also, since I've kind of committed to stitching from my stash this year, and I don't have a section of video dedicated to haul and acquisitions anymore, what that means is my videos have been shorter ultimately. And while most people are pretty understanding about that, there have been some complaints. And so, I mean, I get it. I know it's all in good faith. Nobody's actually being genuinely mean. But by allowing myself more time between posts, I'm able to have more content within the post itself. So I know there are Flosstubers out there who will go, months between videos, and I don't know that I want to have like a massive hiatus between each video, but honestly, having these past like 8 weeks, 9 weeks to do lots of crafting, or as much as I had time for, and take care of life stuff, just it was kind of a weight off my shoulders. And so, I mean, I hope I don't break any hearts here, but I kind of think I'm gonna keep doing that. Like, just do away with a due date or when to expect me back, and just film whenever I have enough to show you, basically. So ultimately the goal is no deadlines, less stress, more enjoyment for everyone. Anyway, if that just bums you out, I apologize, but I kind of have to take a step back and really think about different things and their priority level in my life. And as much as I would love to say Flosstube is high up on that list, it's not my job. I would love for it to be my job, but it's not my job. So, yeah, I'm not doing away with it. I'm not going anywhere. You just might see fewer updates as we go along in the future. Okay, so that was most of my life stuff. There's a little bit more. If you have been following me on Instagram and you've taken an interest in the caterpillar babies that I've been raising, they're still going strong. They're still getting nice and fat in my kitchen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, on Instagram, you can kind of follow along. Mother Nature has gifted me with moth eggs on the wreath on my front door, and so I've been raising them, and they are now 3-week-old caterpillars. They're getting nice and chubby and fat. They've got probably another 3 weeks to go before they become cocoons, and then we'll see what happens. But if you want to follow along with that, all of that progress is on my Instagram. If you have any questions at all, definitely let me know, and I will be happy to answer, because this has been such an enjoyable process with my little moth babies. Also, I did receive a little bit of stitchy kindness from a couple of sources, so I'm going to put that in right before plans, kind of at the end. And then I have quite a few whips and some pretty good progress on my whips to show you. But as per usual, I'm going to start with my reading update. And so I'll show you the books I read for March, and then the ones I read for April. If you are new here, the Pages of Pages and Stitches is representative of my third passion, which is reading. And I like to give a little bit of an update of the books I've read since you saw me last. So let's get into that. So it feels like a million years ago now, but back in March, I started the month by continuing the Emma Slate's Blue Angels Motorcycle Club series. This is number 2. I read number 1 a while ago, but this is number 2, Crash and Carnage, and then I followed it up with number 3, Madness and Mayhem. And then I started the Women in STEM trilogy. They're all kind of independent novels, but it's all about women in STEM, by Hazelwood. The first one is The Love Hypothesis, and then I read number 2, which is Love on the Brain. So that was it for March. For April, I read Powerless by Laura Roberts. This is number 1 in this series. After that, I read a quick little Regency romance. This is by Love Undone by Suzanne, Enoch. Just a quick little cutesy Regency era book. I like these novels because they're fast and they're fun and they're always very sweet. And then I started Carissa Broadbent's Crowns of Nyaxia series. This is number 1 in the series, called The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And number 2 is on its way here, and I'll be reading that probably this next month. So anyways, those were all the books I've read this month. And again, you can go to my Instagram, where I also kind of rate them so that you can get a better idea of what I thought about the books that I read. Also, for the new among you, as you can see behind me, I'm also a quilter, and I do quilting updates in addition to Flosstube updates. So I'm going to be filming that right after this, and then the videos get posted kind of back to back. So if you are curious at all about what you see behind me, or you like quilting, or maybe you're considering starting the hobby or anything like that, feel free to go check out those videos. I call them my Quilter's Corner, and again, that update will be posted right after this one. Okay, so that was kind of a very long-winded intro, but let's get into the cross-stitching, shall we? That's what you've been waiting for, I think. So the first project I want to show you is my focus project. Well, let me back up a bit. If you're unfamiliar, I have several whips that I've started and I have them listed kind of chronologically for my own purposes. I have one focus project that I'm working on every month until it's finished, and then I'm just rotating through the rest of my whips. You can see a breakdown of all of those in my yearly whip parade that I posted around New Year's, so feel free to check that video out. But my focus project, which is what I want to show you first, is this one here. This is my long dog sampler. It's the pointed fifth, and I love this project so much, and I'm excited to share with you what I've been able to accomplish. So the last time you saw it, it looked like this here. This is being stitched on a 32 count Lugana in the color Exotic Orchid, 2/2 full cross with my own color palette. Okay, I think I gotta back up a little bit. This is a big project. So this is where I am now. So I'm making some good progress, some headway up there at the top. If I'm not mistaken, the last time you saw this, let's see, I had just done this and finished this diamond, but I hadn't filled that in, and then put the little pig in. So the progress that I made this time was I filled in this diamond, I filled in the top here and put the little rabbit there. I got started on doing the border of this diamond, and then I filled that part in, and I came down here and completed that arch and did the animals in the middle there, which looks like maybe some sort of stork or pelican, and a fish in its mouth, and a little rabbit. And you can see the beak is where I added the gold detail. I have this gold diamond thread that I've added throughout, and it's featured, you know, just a little bit in all the little windows that you can kind of see the sparkle. It's also in that chevron border kind of around the top diamonds there. So yeah, there it is. The finished size of this piece is going to be 22 inches by 22 inches. So just under 2 feet by 2 feet. It is a big project, but I'm loving it. I'm also really excited because the next time you see this, ideally, I will have put in this little window and then crossed over to this next diamond. And this is the halfway point from left to right of the project. So right about there is the middle. So that's really exciting to kind of hit or get close to that milestone. Yeah, love it. So this is actually my intention for the rotation that I've been doing, is to kind of make sure my oldest whips get, you know, some progress on it and get closer to a finish. This is not my oldest whip, it's my second oldest, but it is my biggest, which is why I picked this one to be my focus project. If you saw, I had initially stitched a 3 in the year there because I thought, oh, I'll finish it in 2023. It won't take me more than a year. That was dumb. That was dumb, and it was what jinxed me probably. So I need to take that 3 out. I'll try and remember to do that before next time. So then it'll just say 2020 with a blank number there. So that way, if I don't finish it in 2024, then this spot will be blank for whatever year I do finish it in. Hopefully 2024, but you know, probably not. Okay, so the next project I worked on is this project here. This is Forest Calendar by Riolis. And this kit came with a 14 count natural Aida. I switched it out for a 16 count Aida in the color Blue Whip that came from a stitch shop that no longer exists. So unfortunately, if you like the color, I can't tell you where to go to purchase something similar. But anyways, it's being stitched on a 16 count Aida in the colorway Blue Whip using the kit materials, which is the wool acrylic blended thread. So this is either 2 or 3/1 full cross with just some back stitching. Yeah, that's the only specialty stitch there. So here's where it was the last time you saw it. I had only put in the January and the February block. And here is where I am now. So I got in March, which is this bunny here. And you can see we're going from winter to spring, from here to here. And then we come down here for the April block, which is this cool little Easter egg bird's nest with little flowers kind of starting to bloom around the edges. Super, super cute. I'm very, very pleased with this project. So I did a calendar stitch last year and I really enjoyed watching that progress throughout the year, which is why I chose to do another one again this year. And this has been coming along. It's been just super cute to kind of track the seasons with my project. Because sometimes, you know, especially in Texas where everything is hot most of the year, sometimes you forget that, you know, time is progressing through seasons. And so this is a cute little reminder. So hopefully next time you see this, it will have the corresponding month blocks or however far into the future I go for the next update. Moving right along, the next whip I'm going to show you is this one here. This one I got off Etsy. It doesn't really have a name because I'm pretty sure it was pirated from the seller, so I won't have it linked down below. I should say everything else that I can link down below, I will link down below. This one I will not link down below because I'm pretty sure it was pirated. I'm calling it Victorian Dollhouse. And I did want to say, last time I posted this, somebody commented that this was a Joan Elliott design, and that is incorrect. So I know why they were confused. I will insert a picture of what the Joan Elliott Victorian Dollhouse looks like, and it is very similar, but as you can see, they are different. So I have not been able to find the original artist. So because of that, I can't direct you to a site to purchase it. But in the interest of ethical licensing of artwork, I won't link the seller who is selling this down below. But I didn't realize that that was a thing until after I purchased this. Like, I got it earlier in my cross-stitching career and I kind of didn't know that that was something to be concerned about. So I know better now. But this one is definitely of questionable origin. So, but I wanted to stitch it because I did buy it, so that's why I'm working on it now. The last time you saw this, it looked like this here. I had started kind of in the middle there. This is being stitched on an 18 count white Aida 2/1 full cross with all the called for colors. And here is where I've gotten to. So it doesn't look like that much progress, I will admit, but it actually was a ton because the amount of colors that are in these tiny little spaces is astronomical. And there's also a ton of backstitching. So last time you saw this, this room was incomplete and it had no backstitching. So I have since finished the room, which was still needed kind of all of this in here added in the bottom of the stairs there. I finished the room. I've done all of the backstitching in between, which includes the door, the stairs, the cat, the window, the lamp, the walls. Everything has backstitching to it. And then I added the border around it and got started on this next room, which is a bedroom right over here to the side. So in this bedroom, I've just kind of started the top little wallpaper border around the side here. I've started some of the wallpaper and this photo that's hanging here, and I actually was able to finish this section. So I went ahead and backstitched that little wall hanging there. So that's where we are. It is going to be, it's on a pretty big piece of fabric that I've got folded over. So it's gonna be pretty sizable. Yeah, I really like dollhouses in general. I always kind of wished that I had one when I was growing up. So instead I'm compensating with a cross-stitch dollhouse. Okay, continuing on in my rotation, the next one up to be stitched was this one here. This is Spring Remembered Part 2 by Paula Vaughan. Here's Spring Remembered Part 1 on the back, but this leaflet only has the chart for Part 2. I originally started this in May for Mother's Day because my mom had stitched a Paula Vaughan with a quilt in it that hangs in my home. It's in my bedroom. So that was the inspiration behind starting this one. And the last time you saw it, it looked like this here. I had just barely started in the middle there. So this is being stitched on a 32 count antique white Lugana with all the called for threads. 1 or 2 over 1, both full cross or half cross. And this is where I am now. So I've started moving in this direction. Originally I had put in that first fence post on this side here, the bonnet on the top, and then I had started with all that, the walkway there in the middle. And the only thing I had backstitched was the bonnet, I believe. So now I continued along this direction. I added more of that fence there. I started on the rocking chair and I did all the backstitching of that fence. I even got in some of the roses there in the background and got all that backstitched. And believe it or not, these flowers took forever because like they are teeny tiny, but there's like 4 colors in those flowers. So it did take a hot minute just to get that part done. But yeah, it's very cute. Coming along. And I'm excited to get more of that rocking chair in because right now you can't really tell what it is, but I got the kind of that top border established there. I just got to fill it in. So here's a close-up of the piece. So I finished all of this here and I just started kind of over here on this border and I got some of these flowers in. But there's still some I have left to do up here. And then I'm gonna kind of go like this direction because this is a very sizable piece of the project, the quilt. There's a lot of colors there and it's in the foreground, so everything is full cross. So I'm gonna kind of swoop this way and then this part should go faster because most of this back here for sure is half cross. At least that's my plan at the moment. It could always change. In fact, the plans usually do change, so I don't know why I'm trying. The next project that I'm going to share with you is this project here. This is called In Her Garden by the Dimensions from the Dimensions Gold Collection. And I am stitching this with, I don't know if we started it together or if she had already started it. Anyway, Amy from Fiber Arts Amy is also stitching this, so if you want to see her progress on it, you can go check out her channel, and we'll have that link down below. So this is what it looked like the last time that you saw it. I had just started up at the top in that right corner. I just mostly got in a lot of the greenery, and I put in a couple of the flowers. And so this is stitched on an 18 count Ivory Ada. It's 2, 3, or 4 over 1, full cross and half cross. However, it does have specialty stitching. It has not just back stitching, it's also got French knots and some cording and couching, which will be a new experience for me when I finally get down in here in her shawl. I have a ways to go before I get there though, so I'll figure it out eventually. And here is where I am now. So I'm still up here in this corner, obviously, but I've filled it out much more. I moved this direction and kind of down. Most of this background here is the half cross, and then the flowers as we move, especially closer to the foreground, are the full cross stitches. And in fact, I think right in here is where her hair is gonna start to show up. So that's pretty cool that we're reaching the midway point because she's kind of in the middle right in here. And then I'll have the rest of that background there. But this project is so fun. I mean, a lot of people complain about dimensions because of the fact that you have to fuss with so many different counts of threads, and for some people that's an uncomfortable way to stitch, which I totally understand, but I am really enjoying this. I actually had to tell myself, like, put it down and move on. You can't just have this project to show whenever you film. So I had to step away. I had to force myself to step away because this has been tons of fun. I have a couple of different dimensions projects going right now, I've completed a gold petite in the past, so I really enjoy dimensions. I know there's kind of debate in the community over stitching kits and stitching dimensions, and I'm very much pro kit and pro dimensions. All right, for my next project, the one that I started for my birthday this last year with the because it's my birthday tag, is this one here. This is called Golden Gate Avenue by Kooler Design Studio. Kooler Design Studio is one of my favorite designers. I just love the style. I love the bright colors and the shapes of everything. I love Kooler Design Studio. Can't say enough about them. So I started another one for my birthday because I wanted to. So the last time you saw this, it looked like this. This is being stitched on an 18 count white Aida 2/1 full cross. And I had just gotten started on, I started in the middle, which was the middle of this house here, and worked up into the second story. And here is where I got to. So I'm still in the second story, still in this house. But last time you saw it, I had just finished this section and backstitched right in here. Finished most of this and finished most of this, but this was the only part that was backstitched. So since then, I have finished this whole little section, backstitched it, put in this tree, backstitched it, backstitched, and did the French knots here on this part of the roof. And then I finished this entire section, which is like the attic of the house, but I didn't do any backstitching here. And then I finished this roof on this side here. This part's also not backstitched because I wanted to finish the tree that goes in here before I did that. And I just kind of, you can see I stopped, there's a page break here, and I stopped because I wanted to finish the rest of this tree so that I could backstitch that and this. So I just came to a stopping point, but I'm very, very pleased with this project. It is so stinking cute, you guys. Look at it. It's so cute. So when I pull this out again, I'm aiming to finish this tree, which just cuts over to this other page a little bit, and then finish the back stitching and then start working down to the first story. The brown house here in the middle is the largest one, and then I can either go to the purple or the yellow after that. But I love this project so, so, so much. And I hope that every time you see it, somebody is enabled to fall in love with Kooler Design Studio the way I do, because I just love them. So here's the project again. Yeah. So this was the tree that I finished. You can see this tree is considerably larger and, you know, cuts over there on the other page. So I'm going to go back in and try and finish this tree and the back stitching and then go down. So, gosh, it's so, some of your projects, like, obviously you enjoy all of them to a certain extent because that's why you start them, but some of them, you know, you just, it's that much harder to step away from them because they're just special to you. And that's one of them. That one's special. I like that one a lot. So the last project that I'm going to show you for this update is this project here. This is a Riolis kit called Dreamer. And I had started this in August with Karla of Karla Being Crafty. Every year she has a black cat birthday sal where she stitches on something with a black cat on it because she has a black cat. And part of the reason why she and I became friends is because I also have a black cat. We have a lot of things in common. So I had participated in this sal my first year on Flosstube, and I wanted to keep up the tradition when I started this in last August. So the last time you saw it, it looked like this here. It basically just looks like a black smudge because I had just started on the cat right in the middle and worked down, and that's kind of all I got. So this is being stitched on a 14 count beige Aida, either 1 or 2 over 1 full cross and half cross, and it is using the wool acrylic blended thread because it is a Riolis kit. And this is where I am now. So the black smudge that was there before now looks more like the bottom half of a cat because I finished doing all the stitching on the cat and then went back in and did all the back stitching for the parts that were there. And then I came down and worked on the fence that he's sitting on. This is the bottom right corner. So that's as far as it goes, that direction. And then this way, there's a couple more fence posts, and then there's nothing else down here. And so going up is a little bit more body, the head, and then the moon, and that's it. So I got back stitching done. Down here, there's a little nail. There's a couple of them over here too. There's some wood grain, and then the kind of scruffy fur on the cat there. So here's the picture again. So I got all of this fence done, and then there's these fence posts that still need to go in. And then I'm right about everything below my finger there on the cat is in. So I just need to go up, do his little face, and then do the moon. And we'll be done. So this one's really cute. I'm really happy with this one. I wish more people gave Riolis a chance. I mean, there's already debate over whether or not stitching a kit is like cheating somehow, which I think is dumb. But it's like every different brand of kit, somebody has something to complain about, right? So with like dimensions, they complain about the number of threads that you're stitching with Design Works, people have something to say. With this, people have something. So with Riolis, everybody says that the wool acrylic thread is yucky, and I disagree. It doesn't bother me. I used to lick, I mean, I still do lick my thread whenever I'm threading my needle, but with Riolis, I have acquired a needle threader, so it makes threading my needle just fine. Like, I have no complaints. The coverage with Riolis wool acrylic thread is so good, even on something as big as a 14 count, and stitches look nice and fluffy, which gives, you know, an added texture to the project that looks really good. So I am, again, pro kit, pro dimensions, pro Riolis. My thought is, if you want to stitch it, regardless of whether or not somebody else tells you that it's not real cross-stitching or it's cheating or whatever. So normally this is where I would kind of go over my plans and then sign off, but I do want to jump in real quick. I did get some stitchy kindness from a couple of people, which was very unexpected, and I was very touched and humbled to have received it. So a few videos back, I did a giveaway for starting my 3rd year on Flosstube, and a couple of my winners have since reached out to me with very kind gifts, which was totally unexpected. You know, whenever I do a giveaway, I never anticipate that somebody's going to return something to me. Like, it's never meant to be an even exchange. It's meant to be a gift. So, but a couple of the ladies that received my giveaway stuff very kindly sent me something in return. So I wanted to share with you what I got. So firstly, Carissa, who was one of my winners, sent me a cute little Etsy package with a note that just says, you know, a little something to say thank you and happy stitching, which I think is very sweet. I will insert here the card, there we go, of the Etsy shop she got it from, which is Stitchingly Along by Cherise Smith. And the little package she sent me is this adorable collection. I have it still in the bag because I've been waiting to put it in this video before I use it, so. But it's this adorable little hummingbird collection. It's like a scissor fob, or like some scissor flare, a counting pin, and a needle minder. So I'll grab these out real quick so you can see them better. So here is the scissor fob, which is so cute. Look at that little hummingbird. Beautiful colors. Look at those beads. And here is the matching pin or needle for counting whenever you are, I assume that's what it's for. Shorts, you wouldn't stitch with this. I believe it's a counting pin for finding where your next stitch goes or your first stitch. And then lastly is the matching needle minder with the little hummingbird on it. So that's such a cute little set. And now that I've shown it to you, I can use it on a project. I could use them all on the same project even. So thank you so much, Teresa, for sending me that little gift package. That was very, very sweet of you. You did not have to do that, but I appreciate it all the same. So thanks again. I hope you enjoyed what you won from me, and I will enjoy what you sent me. And then additionally, I also received from another winner named Deanna, a 1-2-3 Stitch gift card in my email, which was again a total surprise when it showed up. That was so very kind. So normally I don't want to acquire anything, but I had a gift card, so may as well use it, right? So with that gift card, I purchased this pattern here, which is called Apothecary Cabinet. And the designer is a French designer whose name I would never be able to pronounce, but I think it means the little cross in French. Don't quote me on that. I don't know French. Not even a little bit. But I bought this pattern here, which is stunning and beautiful and doesn't take up much space, so it's not gonna overflow my stash bin. So anyways, Deanna, that is the pattern, the thing that I purchased with your 1-2-3 Stitch gift card, which was so very generous of you, and again, a total surprise, completely unexpected. You guys really made me feel special when you sent those back because I was not anticipating it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll use Teresa's Etsy gift with Deanna's 1-2-3 Stitch gift card pattern together, right? That'd be great. I have no plans to start a project anytime soon. My intention is to finish something in my rotation before I start something new, and then of course start from my existing stash. So let's go over plans real quick for my next update. I'm going to continue with my long dog. I'm going to continue ideally with my calendar, but because it is not a focus project, if I ever needed to make like a bump in my workload, that would probably be one of them. But I should say, since I'm taking away my filming schedule and just waiting until I feel like filming for the next video, that shouldn't be a problem. So long dog sampler, forest calendar, which is my Riolis kit, or one of my Riolis kits, and then continuing with the next batch in my rotation of projects, whatever amount of projects that comes to. Honestly, I'm so impressed by the people out there who not only have a weekly update every single week, but actually have like a fair amount of progress to share with us each week, because I just don't have that kind of time. I've already take what crafting time I do have and split it in half between quilting and cross stitching. So there's no way I would ever have enough to show you for a weekly update. So I'm very impressed by the people out there that do weekly updates or every other week. You guys must stitch really fast and certainly have more time than I do. So for my next update, previously I would have said it was at the end of May, and I might, if I want to or have enough progress at the end of May, do an update then. More than likely it'll be closer to the end of June, just because that kind of 8-week buffer was really nice. So I know a lot of people have said before that when it gets to the end of the month, they keep an eye out for my next updates, and I don't want there to be any confusion come the end of May, when there probably won't be one. There's still gonna be one coming. So with that, Mother's Day is coming up. To those of you that celebrate Mother's Day, I hope you have a very happy one. I missed a lot of spring holidays, Easter, Ramadan, Passover, all of that. So if you've been here a while, you know I like to wish everybody a happy everything. So so for whatever holidays you celebrate in the months of March and April, happy those. And then for the ones coming up in May and probably June, happy those. Right. So I will see you guys for the next update. Plan for like 6 to 8 weeks for the next one. If I ever do another giveaway, I certainly won't wait that long to draw a winner, but when I do another giveaway, I will tell you when I will post the next video, which will probably just be the winner announcements. But all that to say, that's it. Okay, I'm up to date now. I need to go edit this video. And it probably still isn't as long as I thought it was gonna be, so I'm doing what I can, guys. That being said, I'm gonna go film my Quilter's Corner now. So I hope to see you there if you watch those videos. If not, I wish you all the very best health and happiness and lots of creativity and crafty time for sure. And I will catch up with you guys next time.